Okay. Alright, well, this is going to be a bit of an unusual video series, I suppose. We're going to be playing through Final Fantasy V. Because it's that time of year again. And I'll be participating in the 4-job Fiesta, so we're going to start with this video. I might do some streaming stuff later, but I can't guarantee that. More importantly, this will be my first time actually finishing the game, so at least if I can get the time to do it. So here we go. I'll explain more during the first cutscene. Okay, so Final Fantasy V is something of a remake of Final Fantasy III, sort of an extension on the ideas of Final Fantasy III and the original game, kinda. It was first released on the Super Famicom back in the 90s, but we never got it in the West, so I'm sure that when people discovered ROMs and emulation, a good number of fans here in America probably first played this game on an emulator. Dragon squeaks. This version of the script, I believe, is from the Game Boy Advance version, but this itself is actually the mobile, like the iOS, Android, and eventually Steam version, which were designed for touchscreens, but yeah, that's, it doesn't actually allow you to use your mouse to emulate touchscreen on this version, so you have to use a controller or your keyboard. So I've got an Xbox controller plugged in. The 4-job Fiesta is a unique type of challenge for the game, where instead of being able to switch the different job classes that your characters get, which is essentially the main mechanic that makes this game feel unique compared to most Final Fantasy games, you're stuck with 4 very specific jobs that are randomly assigned to you. Now, seeing as how I haven't finished the game, I decided that the best way for me to handle that, along with having these random job assignments on top of it, was to stick with what I knew. So, I decided to play a classic run of the 4 jobs, which is you are assigned 4 jobs, 1 to each character specifically, which is the natural job modifier for the standard run, but you only get jobs that were in the original Final Fantasy. So you have the fighter, the thief, the monk, the white mage, the black mage, and the red mage that you can be assigned. So my team will be consisting of Bartz as a monk, Lena as a thief, Galuf as a monk, and Ferris as a black mage. Actually, I think the way the order is set up is I gotta switch Galuf and Ferris, but you get, yeah, Galuf is the Earth Crystal character, so Galuf is the black mage, which will be interesting when I have to fight Gilgamesh with Galuf later. That's actually about as far as I've ever gotten in the game, was the solo fight of Galuf versus Gilgamesh, so not that far into the game, really. But here's our main character? I mean, they're all main characters. Almost to the part of the game where we can actually play it. So, based on this setup of classes, I'll have elemental damage from Black Mage, along with a few status debuffs, mostly sleep. But in terms of other benefits, the Black Mage also uses daggers and gives me the ability to break rods, so that'll be useful. But overall, as long as I had one mage, I was going to be fine. I would have preferred a red or white mage, because it would have given me more healing, but... right now we're just going to beat on these goblins until they all die. Easy. Oh wow, we got a drop from the first fight. That's unusual. The main benefit I have is the thief will allow me to steal a bunch of elixirs at a specific point. I don't really know, like, was I just supposed to type there, or whatever? The thief will allow me to steal elixirs from enemies at a specific point in the game early on, so I can deal with my lack of healing spells by having a lot of full heal items on hand. And the two monks will have very high damage output, including some decent AoE damage from the kick, but mostly just the punches. And focus will be a nice bonus to damage. I'll be saving a lot of money on equipment overall, aside from rods that I'll probably grab a decent number of. And yeah, a lot of that money is going to have to be spent on making sure the party can survive. So potions, high potions, tents, Phoenix Downs, all going to be things I spend good chunks of change on over the course of the game, but I will save money on ethers, because I don't need too much in the way of MP, so it's a pretty stripped-down, straightforward way of playing the game, I think. Very reminiscent of a style of party that I remember suggested by Nintendo way back in the original Final Fantasy. Didn't have a thief, it had the white mage instead, but it was monks and the two mages, and you didn't have much in the way of defense, but you also didn't have to buy weapons for really any of your characters if you didn't want to right off the bat. And you could use that money to kind of... you know, you'd never really be too concerned about having money in the game, and you could afford to get the spells you needed when you found them, and so it was an interesting and unique kind of way to show that you could beat that game with pretty much any class setup that exists. To the best of my knowledge, you can beat this game with any class setup that exists too, so we're going to find out if we can pull it off with our current setup that we're given. But right now, everybody's a freelancer, so that's what we're kind of stuck with for now. The benefit of freelancers is they can equip every weapon, but we'll never really have a good chance to benefit from that compared to... like, if we'd gotten a red mage, there's actually a fight where we could have benefited from that freelancer effect by equipping a whip. Bad chocobo. Don't give me that look. This is adorable. Normally in the Pork Chop Fiesta, you're kind of stuck with everybody having the same job for a while, but because of the way that Classic works, by limiting the jobs only to those that are available from the original Final Fantasy, we get 5 of those jobs available from the first crystal, and we can set up our team as soon as we have all our jobs. Since we don't have any red mages, that means we'll have all of our jobs from beginning to the end of the game after the first crystal. Also, we get Sprint because we have a Thief, and we get the ability to see secret passages, which is nice because, again, I haven't played through the whole game yet. I will be using a guide for certain parts of this because I haven't beaten it before. I just decided to use the Steam version for this run through. If I do another run of this game in the future, it'll probably be the Game Boy Advance version. Because that version is better for the most part. This one is... I like the way this one looks, but I think there are some quality of life improvements and also extra classes in the Game Boy Advance version that aren't available in this version. And right now the team is kind of coming together and they all gotta go to their wind shrine. Alright, I'll go with you and personally see to it that you get there safely. Feels like the wind is calling me. I love the group dynamic in this game. These characters are all great. There's not too many of them for you to end up kind of gravitating away from the central team either. You have these 4 characters because they're able to change jobs, so the whole story is centered around the developing relationships and connections of these 4 specific characters. So you get a really intimate look in the way that they all come together. 3 characters right now. We're not yet to our 4th character. We'll get Ferris here pretty soon. There's a cave coming up. Boko's on board. I guess technically the party has 5 members, but we don't get Boko for most of the game, so... unfortunately. Okay, let me go ahead and... equip that helmet I found earlier. I don't remember there being a cave here. I'm actually kind of confused as to how the pirates got in here before. Oh yeah, there's pirates in this cave. I don't know if I should say epilepsy warning in regards to that. That was kind of a weird flash. Oh well. The old man just... he don't care. He'll beat on you. Jesus. One thing that's nice in this game, I cannot figure out how to skip a character's turn in the Game Boy Advance version. I can't figure out like what button to press or what combination of buttons or what exactly lets me say, okay, I know this person's ATB gauge is full, but I want to use this other person whose ATB gauge is full. Like, I know how to switch to a different character in this mode. It's a boat. I mean, this game you go through vehicles so fast. At least at the beginning, for like the first part of the game, you get a boat, and then it's like, okay, now you get a different thing to use to ride somewhere. Now you ride a different thing somewhere. Like, you start off with a chocobo. It's ridiculous. I find it funny that the way that they draw the side sprites for the pirates is that they always have the eye patch showing on each side, so like, if you were to run at them from the side, they would never see you. Because the eye patch just switches eyes and they'd never be able to see out of it. sneak on board and steal the ship. Thankfully, everyone's asleep. Woohoo! Yo-ho-ho and stuff. Time to cast off. How do you work this thing? Uh-oh. We got caught. Wait, I'm Princess of Tycoon. Please accept my apologies for attempting to steal your ship. I find it interesting their immediate surprise at the fact that she's a princess, but neither of them seems to put together the idea. It's like, wait a minute, would it actually be a good idea for her to mention that right now? Degenerate, lecherous, piratey pirate. You can tell this was translated. This was using a translation that's designed to go for a bit more humor at points. A pendant. And we're caught. Well, that was a short game. Ocean sounds. What genius came up with the idea to steal a pirate ship anyway? Can't remember a thing. Still, I can't believe you're really the Princess of Tycoon. Sorry, I didn't intend to keep it a secret. I mean, look at her character art. That just screams princess, right? Like, can nobody see these boxes at the bottom of the screen? I mean, Bart's character art screams prince. Everyone's character art screams royal person when it's drawn by... I don't know the name. I should look it up. It's done art for so many Final Fantasy games. Just can't shake the feeling that something terrible is happening. I've never tried sleeping tied up. I wonder how difficult it is. Why does the Princess of Tycoon have the same pendant as I do? She said her father's at the Wind Shrine. Prepare to cast off. Who let you out? Untie him. Yeah, awesome. We solved that problem by doing nothing. I reconsidered your request. Okay. Pirate crew's great. They all seem to be very nice guys. A little weird, but very nice. I apologize, there's not much happening at the beginning of the game here. I'm also not entirely sure that this will sound all that good. I've been trying to adjust this microphone for a while, and it's just been finicky as all heck. Sildra! More dragon squeaks. So many dragon squeaks. Alright, we're off. Now, I could go out of my way to get a bunch of stuff right now, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna go right to the Wind Shrine and get the jobs first. I could go to the store and buy, like, a better weapon or something for Galif, but we're fine for now. Besides, we really won't need weapons for very long. Where we're going, we don't need weapons. Seriously, like, 3 of our classes don't benefit from weapons nearly enough to actually bother with them. Something must have happened to the king. Now we must go save the king. Ferris, come on! Reorder the party. There we go. Now everyone's in their elemental order. The guy that has potions. Okay. You went up to check on the crystal at the beginning of the game, but it's been a little while since then, and we're starting to worry. Probably get a level or 2 for some of the characters in this area. There we go. Clear out my old saves. There's a sword in a chest around here somewhere. I think it's in that room on the other side of the bird. Bird's over here. Or there is something in there and I've just not figured out where it is. Yeah, here it is. Alright. We'll use this for one fight and then we won't use it anymore. Aw, come on. Two fights. We'll use it for 2 fights, and then we won't use it for any more fights. Accidentally hit row for... There we go, first boss down. pretty standard. Don't attack him when he's got his wings closed, I think. Who knows, maybe that was an opportunity to kill him really easily. In any case, we're almost done. Grab this first. We don't really need it, but we can sell it for a little bit of money, so we'll take it. Here we go! Okay, there's a decent amount of flashing lights in this game. Courage, the essence of flame. Devotion, the essence of water. Hope, the essence of earth. Passion, the essence of wind. Warriors of Light, bearers of the four crystal essences. Go forth, light warriors, save the crystals. Crystal fragments and stored within the power of warriors of legend. The knight, the monk, the blue mage, the thief, the black mage, and the white mage. Alright. I guess we'll get to set up our jobs now. And I'll end this video and we'll start another one. I'll record a couple today, but... there should be a warp panel on the outside behind the altar. Jobs! What are abilities? Ability screen. Assigning abilities. Notes on assigning abilities. Anyway, I do know enough about the game to know how that stuff works, so... Arts is a monk. We don't have any extra abilities yet. So... Lena is a thief. So she's also already got her equipment set up. Neat. Ferris is a monk. And last, Gallup is black mage. We are ready. Oh, you'll see that little circle down there? That's the sprint indicator. Thieves can sprint. Alright, I'm gonna stop this recording. We'll start another video here in a minute. Or the game will crash on us. Oh boy. I didn't even save. I... Uh... Thank goodness it has an autosave mechanism. Yeah. Okay, let's actually save. Okay. Now we'll come back for the next video here in a minute.